Hey everybody, Tori Hartman here with a Psychic Minute or Two, and I'm going to talk today about the Color Wisdom card, Final Sunset, which is all about completion. I have my notes here, so bear with me. Even though they're my cards, like even when I say my, I don't have ownership of them, they came through me, right? But even though I brought them forward, doesn't mean I know them. And oftentimes I'm amazed by people in my spiritual club is how well they know the cards, and I'll say, oh, I never thought of that. So it's wonderful to be open to whatever's coming. So that said, I want to talk about Final Sunset because sometimes people get mistaken with that card because it's completion, and it's a young lady at a grave site saying goodbye to her father. And what I think is important is understanding that being able to declare things complete is a very powerful spiritual tool to use, because sometimes we hang on with things for many years when they're really over. I always joke with my friends and go, the party's over and you're still in the fairgrounds waiting for the clowns to come back and it's empty. So that's kind of what Final Sunset's about. It's over, and the quote from the card says, the day has come to a spectacular conclusion. And I think that's very important because it can mean either the loss of a loved one, it can be a project well done, it can be something that you just don't want to pursue anymore. And with that, I want to just mention to all of you that when Final Sunset comes up, it's about looking at and determining if you want to continue in the path you're on. And it's okay if you want to say, you know what? I'm declaring that complete. I don't want to do that anymore. And I know I've done that with certain creative endeavors that I've taken on. Now, one thing I want to say is that this particular card can have many nuances. So I don't want you to get scared when you see the graveyard and go, oh gosh, it means death. It doesn't. Completion or conclusion means that we get a chance to start over. Sometimes it can be a do-over card where you're starting something new. And I think the other thing is that it's very important to get that there's going to be no dawn, no do-over, no anything we declare complete, we don't have to visit again. It's kind of nice knowing that it's over, and we don't have to go, I really don't want to do this project. Let me give you a very brief example. I have a friend who was in my Chakra Magnetizing for Business course, and in this particular course, what happened was, about 2/3 of the way through the course, she said to me, I'm pursuing this business and I've wanted to do it for many years, and all of a sudden I realized I don't want to do it. And she'd never allowed herself to get to that place in the work where she could determine that she really didn't want it. She'd always left it as, just out of arm's reach. Do you know what I mean? Like just beyond arm's reach, so that it was always something I could do that if I wanted to. And in the course, as we started to look at it, she started to realize, I don't really want to do it. And what happened was she got to declare it complete, and she was left with the nothingness. And I think many times we're afraid of the nothingness. And I want to tell you that the real power of creativity comes in the nothingness. It comes from the unknown and not knowing what's next. And that's what happened with her. I just want to say, it's so funny because I took all these notes, and then it's interesting, I'm following them almost exactly, and I love that because sometimes when we write notes down and we're like, oh, I've got to follow this, and we realize, oh, I'm on it already, It's kind of like I have friends who've taken courses on things because they say, well, I want to study that. Well, they're already an expert in it, So it's kind of funny that they take the class and then they realize, oh, I knew so much and I didn't know. So we spend a lot of time invalidating ourselves for things that we actually already know. And I think sometimes taking a class just validates. And I think it's the same thing with a psychic reading, actually. But one thing I want to say to you is this, as I wrap up, is that I liken all of this to being a trapeze artist. There's that moment in the air, when they let go of one swing and they're in air and they don't know if they're going to catch, but they do. That's the moment of completion when the catch happens. So we spend a lot of time worrying and just staying on the one swing. What if we could just let go and allow ourselves to catch perhaps an entirely different thing? So this is really all about this particular card is really all about declaring completion and allowing ourselves a new opportunity ahead, because we did good. So I want to say this to you. You did good, kid. I'll see you next time.